Welcome to St. Paul's Church in Llandudno. This is the 7-minute
service.
Today we will be thinking about buried treasure. At Ysgol Bodafon we have been making our own treasure and hiding it round the town.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Be all else but not to me, save that thou art. Be thou my best thought in the day and the night, both waking and sleeping, my presence I light. King of heaven, the heaven's bright sun, oh, grant me its joys after victory is won. Great heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be thou my vision, O ruler of all.
Our reading is taken from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 13. Jesus told a story. He said, God's kingdom is like a pine nut that a farmer plants. It is quite small as seeds go, but in course of the years it grows into a huge pine tree, and eagles build nests in it. He told another story. God's kingdom is like a treasure hidden in a field for years and then accidentally found by a trespasser. The finder is ecstatic, what a find, and proceeds to sell everything he owns to raise money and buy that field. Or God's kingdom is like a fishing net cast into the sea, catching all kinds of fish. When it is full, it is hauled on to the beach. The good fish are picked out and put in a tub. Those unfit to eat are thrown away. That is how it will be when the curtain comes down on history. The angels will come and call the bad fish and throw them in the rubbish. There will be a lot of desperate complaining, but it won't do any good. Jesus asked, Are you understanding this? They answered, Yes. He said, Then you see how every student well trained in God's kingdom is like the owner of a corner shop who can put his hands on anything you need, old or new, exactly when you need it. Now we have to ask Rev Ben to give us his thoughts on God and treasure.
I was out for a walk yesterday with Catherine, and as we were walking along the front in Dygamwi, we found one of the Ysgol Bodafon stones that so many of you have been placing around the place. It was wonderful to see and brought a smile to my face, and as I thought about the fact that I'd found this stone, it led me back to our gospel reading of this morning, where it tells the kingdom of heaven is like treasure buried in a field that a man found and reburied. Then in his joy he goes and sells everything he has and buys that field. You see, much like that treasure, much like the stone that I found, it wasn't lost. It hadn't been discarded unnecessarily. It had been placed there with a purpose, that someone would find it, that someone would discover it and would be happy and would smile at that discovery. You know, the parables about the kingdom of God can be quite confusing at times, and this section of Matthew's gospel that talks about the kingdom of God in parables and images can be confusing. But what comes throughout it all is that the kingdom of God is found in small things, in the small seeds. But that God has made his kingdom known in and around us, that we might find it and we might find joy in it. So as I found that stone, I was reminded of the fact that, the kingdom of God, that the revelation of God is found in the smallest of things, the most ordinary of things. As I sat on the beach and just looked over the sea, again I was reminded of the glory of God and the beauty of his creation. As I came home and received the embrace of my son, I was reminded of the love of God and the joy that it is to be placed in a family. The kingdom of God isn't complicated. The kingdom of God is immensely simple. So my challenge today is simply this: where are you seeing glimpses of the kingdom all around you? God has given us clues to his kingdom. He has placed them that we might find joy in the everyday. Much like the buried treasure, there is treasure all around us to be found. Items of treasure that God has placed that we might find them and hold on to them. That we might be changed so much by the glimpses of God's kingdom and the difference that it is, that we would give up everything we have in order to keep hold of it and to live in it. So today, where are the glimpses of the kingdom in your life and in your community? Where is God at work, and what might he be saying to you?